uniform of the Houston Astros. He had 2 different runs in Houston. Now known for a big home run he hit against Houston as well. But you played in this Silver Boot rivalry.
Loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got traded over from Montreal in the spring of 2002. So, you know, immediately thrust into the situation and playing in a rivalry game. Obviously, when Montreal, we just got pounded on in the National League East by the Mets, the Braves, the Phillies. And then coming over to Houston those first couple of years and then getting the chance to play interleague against the Texas Rangers, I discovered real quick what that Silver Boot series was all about. And it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a nice little bump in the middle of the season.
It was.
Emotionally.
Yeah, I think the initial interleague, especially when you had a natural rivalry like that, it made a lot of sense. DeCenzo takes a little bit up. 1-2.
Not to mention the travel. Whoa, that was nice.
That's true. That's easy. Of course, now these two teams in the same division, same league. Liners 1-2, and just misses. So DeCenzo, 250 average today, has the start in left field, and he's getting around about 5 starts a week. His manager, Joe Espada, pretty judicious how he deploys a number of these young guys. And there's a good fastball in the corner. DeCenzo down looking.
That was a good live arm from Jack Leiter. 97 this time, dots up the outside corner. Gets the call from home plate umpire Nick Marley on this one. But you can see why there's a lot of excitement around Jack and that right arm.
So his first strikeout today, and it'll work to Jake Myers, and he'll foul that one away. Now, the other thing about that Silver Boot series for you, no wonder you loved it. I mean, you did have a certain measure of success in the rivalry games.
I knew you liked me.
I mean, it was interesting because you had 11 starts, I think. You played 5 times off the bench in that rivalry, which had me scratching my head.
Yeah, just across the street. I love playing in that ballpark.
Oh, boy. Yeah, well, you were a hitter.
Yeah, exactly. That jet stream went out to right field.
So here are the numbers in 16 games. The 373 average. That OPS right there, by the way, easy math. 999 OPS.
Yeah, I'd take that. If only I had played more than 16 games against Rangers.
Yeah, that might have been, you might still be playing.
Wow, there's a lot of things internally that can't do that.
2-strike pitch from Leiter, and he misses with the slider that time.
I appreciate you bringing that up. That was great. A little flashback. I didn't anticipate that. But I know you mentioned it in the pregame, how streaky this matchup has been. Because when I first got in the booth here with the Astros in 2013 to 2016, it was rough going every time we came in here. It was just, how are we going to manage getting through this game without giving up 10?
Yeah. No, the early days, interleague, and then the early days when Houston came over to the American League, that was some pretty tough sledding. But it flipped. Houston has had basically a decade-long run of mostly dominance in this series, and in a lot of ways here, in Arlington, it's where they've done a lot of their best work.
I felt like the first couple of years here was just liftoff when the Astros came through. A little bit different pitching staff now for the Texas Rangers now that everybody's healthy too, which is great.
Well, that is definitely a point we're talking about, because the Rangers had really struggled for the longest time to field a real competitive rotation. Now all of a sudden, you're throwing guys like DeGrom and Evaldi. Boy, Tyler Mahle, another great start last night. 3-2 pitch, and Myers shoots that out to center field. Haggerty on the move. 2 away. So here comes Cam Smith. You see his numbers on the rise lately. Last 8 games at 320 average, and a lot like Zach DeCenzo, who we saw earlier this inning. Getting right in that neighborhood of 5 starts a week. Now you watch him every day, Jeff, and you've seen how he's adjusted to right field, which is also, that's got to be part of his story this year.
100%, because he was drafted out of Florida State by the Chicago Cubs for their #1 pick as a third baseman. And in that trade, it said third baseman Cam Smith is coming over to the Astros. Rolls that one to third. But the opportunity for him was in right field.
Well, it's a quick 1-2-3 for Leiter in the second. We played an inning and a half.